This chapter is all about transformations. There are 4 different types. Do you guys remember what they are?
Translation.
4 different types of transformations. Translation's one.
Dilation.
Dilation's another.
Annotation.
What'd you say?
Rotation.
Rotation, and it says right at the top of your notes today. Reflection. Okay, so today we're talking about reflections. Reflections. Can someone describe what a reflection is? It's like a mirror image, okay? That's what I hear from a lot of people. Mirror image. What else? How else can you describe a reflection?
You see something that's in it.
What'd you say?
Like you see it's like you can see yourself. Like,
Okay, so like the mirror image thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Inverted.
Okay, inverted. I'll accept that. Okay. With reflections, does the shape change?
No.
No. Okay, the shape stays the same. It's just like flipped. So reflection, I'm going to use the word flip a lot. Okay. One other thing we have to talk about is a rigid motion. Can anyone tell me what a rigid motion means?
Like it's like this.
What does motion mean?
Moving.
Move. Okay, what do we think rigid means?
Uneven. Like
I agree with you, but no.
why?
It's a movement. If you want to write this down, you can. If not, just remember. Movement of a pre-image to its image. That's the movement part. Rigid motion, that is where it's preserved. Okay? Preserved meaning that nothing changes. Okay, preserved means size and shape stay the same. So it's a preserved movement. Size and shape stay the same, but the shape just moved somehow. Okay, and that's either by a translation, rotation, or reflection, one of those. Okay, so I want to look at this example here. If I need to go back to that, I will. Okay, I want to look at this one here, talk about some things. Pre-image, okay, if you ever see this in your textbook or IXL or anything, okay, the pre-image, that's the first original image. Okay, the pre-image is the original. Keyword or key prefix there is pre. You're going to see me write a Roman numeral 1 in there a lot. Okay, so the pre-image is my first original image. Okay, the image, that's your second or that's your new image. You're going to see Roman numeral 2 a lot in there. Okay, so pre-image to its image. Looking at that right there, is that a rigid motion?
Yes.
No.
Raise your hand if you think yes. Raise your hand if you think no. Raise your hand if you don't know. Okay? Remember, rigid motion is it moves and it stays the same size and shape. Did it stay the same size?
No.
No, so it's not a rigid motion. Did it stay the same shape?
Yes.
Yes, okay? But it needs to be a yes for both of those. Okay? So since the size changed here, that is not a rigid motion. Does that make sense? So in order to be a rigid motion, it has to stay the same size and be the same shape. Okay, go ahead and flip your notes to page 2 if you haven't already. Go ahead and answer example 1A and B. All you're doing is telling me yes or no to a rigid motion. 1A, is that a rigid motion, yes or no?
Yes.
It is, but it flipped.
Yep.
Why is it still a rigid motion even though it
Same
flipped?
size. Same shape.
Same size, same shape. What about 1B?
No.
No, why not?
Different size.
It's a different size. Yep. Which one's the first image? The pre-image, right? Yep. Remember, pre-image is always the first one. The image is the new one. Okay? Next one, again, this is where you got to bear with me. Okay? I'm going to explain this on this graph paper here. Okay. All right. I'm going to draw a triangle that looks like this. Okay, again, follow along with me. That is my triangle, and I'm going to name the points A, B, and C. This is my pre-image, so I'm going to put a Roman numeral 1 in there. That is my first image. Okay, someone pick X or Y. X-axis, I like it. Okay, which one's the X-axis? Show me with your arms. This way or this way? Yep. X-axis is this way. So we are reflecting over the x-axis. Okay? This line right here, that's called your line of reflection. So whatever it's telling you to reflect on, that is your line of reflection. Does anyone remember the trick when performing reflections? Does anyone remember? Has to do with the distance. So let me look at point C first. How far away is C from my line of reflection? It's 1. So if it's 1 away on one side, I need to go 1 away on the other side. So that point right here, that's my new C value. When we label the new image points, we have to label them C prime or apostrophe. Okay, those signify the new points. So B, how far away is B from the line of reflection? 3 on this side, so I need to go 3 on the other side. Is this making sense? Yes, because remember the distance on both sides is the same. So there's my B prime. What about A? 5, so I need to go 5 on this side. Okay, there's my A prime. And then all you got to do from there is connect your dots. Yes? Okay, let me show you a different example on this same picture here. What if it was a square? And I have A, B, C, and D. This time I want to reflect over the y-axis. So my new line of reflection is here. What do I do? How do I figure out, how do I reflect? Count the distance, right? How far is the distance from B to the line of reflection? 2, so I need to go 2 on this side. What do I label it? B apostrophe B prime. Yep. Now let me ask you something. I could keep counting the distance to all the points. Is there an easier way once I get one of them?
Yeah, just count how many is between each one.
Right. I can just look at the original. How far apart is A and B? 2. Well, is A here or is A here? It's the second one, right? So A's here. What about D? Down from B, right? Yep. So once you get one of the points, especially when there's a square, you can just draw the image of what it's supposed to look like after that, okay? Or you can keep counting the distance, okay? Let's look at this one. I know there's not grids on there, okay? This is on your example 2. Perform a reflection over the line that they drew for you. This is on your example 2. Now on this example, what should stay the same the whole time? What stays consistent? Size and shape stay the same. If I'm talking about M, what's going to be the same on both sides? The distance is going to be the same. Okay, so M is about this far away, so I need to go about the same distance on the other side. What do I label that new point? M prime. Okay, now I do the same thing for L and N. Okay, again, I know you don't have grid, okay, but we're just trying our best. And then what do I label that new point? L prime, and then here, that is my N prime. Once you have all 3, connect to make your new shape. I know it's hard, but did the size of my shape change?
Not really.
Not really. I know my drawing's not very good. Did my shape change? No, it stayed the same. Okay, so remember with reflections, all you're doing is if I was here, I'm flipping over that line of symmetry or line of reflection. Okay. All right. Look at example 3 here. What do you think this means right here? Our x-axis. Reflection over the x. So we already kind of talked about this. There's my line of reflection. Whenever we are on paper, I highly recommend you draw in or highlight that line of reflection so you can see it a little better. Okay, just like I did there. That's our line of reflection. Let's say I had just these 2 points here. I just had a line. How do I reflect that line? Here's my point A, point B. Find the distance and do the same thing, right? How far is A from the line of reflection? 2, and then I go 2 on the other side. What about B? Same thing, right? So the distance here is the same on both sides. Okay. This one, it actually tells you reflection across the y-axis. So this time we're here. Okay. We already kind of talked about this, right? We know what it looks like for the y-axis. I'm going to change this a little bit. What if it told us reflection across y equals 2? Because it will give you, it's not always going to be x or y axis. Okay. What does the y equals 2 mean? Where would that be? Where's the point y equals 2?
On the y-axis is 2.
On the y-axis at 2. Okay, now we need to make a line out of that. Is my line going to go straight across, or is it going to go up and down? It's going to go straight across. Yep, if it's y equals, that line's going to always go straight across. Okay, so now if I drew a new shape here, how does that change?
It wants you to reflect over y, so then you just, that's your line of reflection.
Yep. Instead of the normal x or y axis, now this is my line of reflection.
So you go off that line.
Yep, so I go off that line now. I don't care about the x and y axis anymore. I only care about this y equals 2. Okay, so how far, let me label my points here. How far is A from my line of reflection? 3, so I need to go 3 on the other side. What do I label it? A prime. What about C? 1. And then B?
4.
It is 4, so I go 4 on the other side. So if it gives you a different line other than the x or y axis, okay, you act like the axis aren't there and you treat the other one as your line of reflection. Okay? Questions so far? All right. A couple more examples I want to talk about here. What if it gave us x equals -3 as our line of reflection? Let's talk about where that would be. -3 on the x-axis, and it would be up and down. Yep. So my new line of reflection is here. Do I care about the x or y axis anymore? No. Okay. One of the trickier ones is if I had y equals x. It would be on the 0. Think of this form. This looks like y equals mx plus b. What is my slope of this one right here? Remember what's in front of the x, technically. A 1. What's my b value? 0. There's no b there. So my starting point is 0, 0. And then how do I get all my other points? It's a diagonal, right? I'm going to go up 1 over 1 here. Now, the reason I brought this up is because this will get brought up sometimes. So I'm going to draw a picture. How are we going to reflect over that line? Because remember in chapter 1 when we were talking about the distance formula, can we get an exact distance if we go this way?
No.
Will we get the exact distance? No. So how do you think we figure out what the distance is going to be?
Not more than your okay.
What do you mean by that?
Like each point, like A, go to that line, like the diagonal line.
Yep, so if I look at A right now, how far away is A to the diagonal line?
Like 1.5 miles.
If you go this way, yes. Let's go either side to side or up and down. How far away is it? 3. Does it matter which direction I go? Is it going to be 3 every time? Yep, so it does not matter direction I go. Okay, so how many do you think I go on the other side? 3. Which direction? Am I going to go this way?
No, you go at an angle.
I'm going to go down. So my new A point is here. Okay? Because if I put A right here and I reflect here, okay? I'm going to start this way. I reflect here. Does my A land up here or does it end down here? Yep. So A right now it's on this part of my hand. and now I'm here. So when you move diagonally, you have to kind of make yourself a box like we did right here. Okay? What about C? How far away is it from the line? 3. Does it matter if I go up or down or left or right? Nope. So I go 3 here. Where do I have to go next? Down 3. Remember, see, I made this right angle here. That's what we want to do. Okay. B, how far away is it? 6. Yep. I'm going to go down this time just to show you. 6 here. So how many do I have to go this time? 6 this way. So then there's my B. So my new image is here. Does that look like it reflected the other one? Yes. Okay. So a little trickier with diagonals. It's still the same concept, but you have to count to that diagonal line and then down or over or whatever you chose. Okay.